Hi, I'm that guy's son.
So shit.
No, I mean it's just like what do I say? I go by many aliases, I guess. But for tonight, I will be Saint Innocence because I am the author of Lockdown right here, the
That's
book
right.
that I had written and released over the past year. I even made the art. This is the original art by me. Kind of hard to see without a light, but this is all me. Um, a bit bigger than what I've wanted it to be, but still cool. Made all this. There you go. So yeah, that is only one of many books I have in like planned. So
We're gonna get to that
yeah,
too. You know what I'm saying throughout this conversation. Make sure we get you all plugged up. But and you go by
my pen
Saint
name
Innocence.
is Saint Innocence right here.
So
Kind of backwards, but you get the idea.
yeah. So how you been?
I've been good, can't complain. Just still promoting the book. It's been almost a year since it released. It'd be a year in October, funny enough. Uh
So how do you feel
so
about
I've
that
just been
process
promoting
of
since.
promoting the book and everything?
Um I say it's more of a learning process than me actually having a actual process because this is my first release. So I'm still trying to figure out how things work, at least marketing wise. For my next book, I definitely want to be more local than this one because this one I was just on TikTok promoting it.
All right.
So that's definitely something I've been learning.
So what do you mean exactly by local?
So like probably talk to some bookstores and see if I can just like literally just sell my book. Or in conventions, like I just recently went to MomoCon. I saw people actually have their artworks as well as their own stories selling there as well. So I was like, maybe I can see how much a booth is and rent out a booth so that way I could promote that way as well, at least for my next story, because my next story is in production now.
I didn't even know that was a freaking thing. You can do that. I thought it was more like kind of big players, more like commercial players that go do these comic cons or whatever.
Well, they do, but there's always a different types of vendors from different sizes, right?
Yeah.
So they even had an artist alley, which is funny enough where you would be at or where I would be at, trying to sell my stuff because it also incorporates art as well with it. I got a lot of prints from the artist alley, so that's the biggest thing. And yeah, that's really all that I feel like I should do for the next turnaround as well with the promoting on TikTok.
Gotcha. So how long did it take you to finish this book? You've
Two
been promoting
years
for a
because
year, 2 years.
it'd be 2 years. Um, I did not know what I was doing, and it was a learning process throughout the whole time. So yeah, it was definitely just a learning process. I just had to get accustomed to
What were some of the challenges that you had?
finishing it. I had to have a lot of discipline to just write when I needed to write because there was days where I should have wrote and I did it, and there was also times where I just doubted myself, where I was like, "Am I even ever gonna release this?" But I stood disciplined and I stopped becoming my own biggest critic, and I just wrote it and released it and did everything I could to where it's at least out in the public right now.
Do you
That
think
was
it
probably the biggest challenge.
after writing myself for so long now and having my own style, writing every day to me doesn't really mean consistency anymore to me. Like, so, like what I've been noticing is that I need to live a little in order to get what I'm looking for, right? And I'm not looking for inspiration or motivation. It's just more like, okay, well, I need to refill myself with life and experience. Then I could, and absorb just music or television. Something of those natures could spark something and may say, oh, now I know what direction to go with this character, or cause it just you're not so locked in. You know what I'm saying? For like fucking locked into the
Yeah.
to just this one focused piece where you that generic fucking writer's block type shit, or you feel like because you missed a day or two, you're not being consistent. But I'm like, I haven't wrote a new poem in a week, but that's part of my process now. My part of my process is now by next week I probably write 3 or 4. Like because I have like things happen, conversations happen. I get upset, I get happy, get kind of mid. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, and having those emotions and reflecting back on it is like boom. But my consistency is I publish every year. So like you're doing yourself,
Right.
like like you're getting ready, you're drawing still. Do you find those gaps? You're saying you doubted yourself as well as far as your skill set, whatever. But did you doubt yourself because of those gaps you took? Did you feel like a real writer should write every day?
Not necessarily. It was just like that was just from, like I said, from the days where I feel like I should have written to where um I just didn't. You know what I mean? Because the thing about it, my process when I was writing it was that I was trying to. I didn't really have any type of consistency. So like it was different in the sense that I was trying to build a sort of consistency.
Mm.
And for me, I wasn't sure if that was once a week or once every day, or at least 4 days straight. You know what I mean? So like that was really what I was dealing with.
So let's say you were talking to someone who just became a writer for the first time, or wants to be, and they have you know, these ideas or questions of what consistency looks like. What would you tell them? 'Cause
I'd
now you have
say,
experience, right? So
yeah, I say write as much as you can about what you love, because I feel like if you do that, you'll write all the time,
right,
just naturally. And it wouldn't feel like it'd become a chore, because that's what kind of I had an issue with. It became a chore to me to finish the book. Um, I could also say that way because I wasn't really in love with the story, where it was headed, which is probably why I felt that way. Because I
right,
know there was a story, and I'm working on it now. I can't wait to write, and I can't wait to finish. So that's why I feel like this next story is going to be done a lot faster, as well as the new process that I have compared to the last one,
right.
because of just how much I have with it and how much like I fell in love with it. Like if you feel that way or anything else, then I think that would be the type of consistency. Because as long as you write about what you love for as long as you like, then I think that's what you do.
No, you're right. I think the fact that keeping that in mind and not just writing to write, but write what you said, like what you love, makes
Yeah,
absolute sense because at that point I doesn't feel like work.
yeah.
What do you feel about the back end part, like the business side of it that you had to learn? You're self published, right?
Yeah.
You have to market yourself. So you're also your own marketing team. You're your own publicist, right? You're wearing so many hats, and a lot of times that can take away from the creative piece. Did you find yourself struggling with that, where you're trying to be creative and then you had to learn about the business aspect of things?
Yeah, no doubt. Because funny enough, a lot of creatives are horrible at business.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tried to do as best as I could with the situation. Um, like I said, I had a lot of learning to do, and I have a lot of learning still to do. But at least with what I've learned throughout this first process, I'm going to 100% put that to use to the next process. But that this is why I said it includes me being more local with my marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get more of a local audience because that's kind of how you build any type of audience, right? If they're local, you're golden, then you branch out.
Right.
So I say we do that, and just even the process that I'm having of how I'm doing stuff now, because I made art to promote, but it was after I wrote it, at least with the first book. With this next story, I'm making all the art first, and I'm going to be promoting as I'm writing, and I feel like I would have a much longer promoting timeline, so that way I could actually reach more people because I was kind of on a time crunch between me being done with the book and me having a release date. I think I really only had like 2 months of promotion before the book came out till I was actually just promoting it after the fact.
What's your sweet
And I
spot
feel
for
like
promotion?
I haven't found it yet. I have to really this second book is still me experimenting with that at least. And then I feel like from the third book on, I should be able to streamline the process and gather more data better that way because I would have two examples instead of just one.
You feel like
Two
too
different
much.
processes.
You feel like 2 months wasn't enough to promote. You feel
No,
like,
not the way that I was doing it because I was also limiting myself on art because I wasn't making his art as fast as I wanted to promote.
so it was conflicted at that point because of the artwork and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
promotion
So
time.
that's why now I'm gonna have more of a stockpile, so that way I could promote that way.
Mm. Makes sense. And that's because
Yeah,
you learned your process. So by doing those things, because it's difficult to write a book. Not everybody could do it. Even though you see hundreds of authors and there's been thousands of authors throughout time, tens of thousands easily. Um, it's not easy to write a book, and it's definitely not easy to write a good book.
yeah.
And to be original with story, right? Because a lot of times you can be influenced by what you watch, what you see. You see Hollywood, they're struggling for new stories, right? They're constantly making freaking repeats of shit. And so that they alone could show you, like, it's tough to become really freaking unique in your story. Did you find that was difficult for you when you were creating your story? That you didn't want to be really influenced, and when you were writing, did you stop watching things so you won't be influenced, or did you need that influence to really get you going?
You see, with how I did the story, I don't mind influence because I know where to draw the line where it's not outright copy.
Okay.
So, funny enough, like I said, with this story, I didn't really have any influence. Or I guess I did. Like I had like just a super basic superhero origin story. I guess is my influence from like the millions of Marvel origin stories that have come out by now. I'd say that's probably the only influence I've really had. But in terms of like how the story was and how it went, like I think it's pretty formulaic.
Okay.
But I also think it's unique to what I wanted to that character to go through as well. So, and it was just from other things that I saw. Like I grabbed a lot of different stuff from different parts to make this one movie. I mean, to make this one story.
When did you know you were a writer?
When I was in, when I was, it was like my first, no, yeah, I think it was my first year. After my first year of college, I went in to be a journalist major. I wanted to be a sports analyst because I love watching, like First Take and all that, like Undisputed at the time. Um, I wanted to do nothing but to talk about sports with somebody and like argue about them and get paid for it. So I went to try to be a sports journalist, and I went to be a journalist major, and in the background, I always had these stories. And mind you, lockdown was in my brain since high school. At least the character, not like the actual story, but the character, the arcs that I wanted him to go through, and all the stuff that I wanted him to do. Like that all was brewing since I was like 17 years old in high school. And after that first year of me being a journalist major, I was like, when am I ever gonna write this story?
Right.
And then at that point, I was like, you know what? I changed majors. So I became I went to the literary arts to be an English major, and then that's when I started pursuing actually becoming an author, writing stories.
And you didn't finish college.
No, I dropped out. It was not for me.
That's
But yeah, it's crazy. It was scary. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I did what I feel like a lot of my other peers would not have done until after they finished the 4 years and were 70,000 dollars in debt.
right.
And I published a book.
Just with some discipline and
Yes. And I'm not trying to like take a dish at anybody that finishes school, but I mean it's just like how the route. It's just the route that I took.
because you knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah, and I also knew you didn't necessarily need college to do it
No.
because I left debt free. I didn't leave school with like thousands of dollars still hanging
Yeah,
around.
because you were paying for it for yourself.
Yeah, I was paying for it out of my own pocket. And when I decided, look, I'm just not gonna go anymore. Well, I'm gonna be an author my way. I did it. No, albeit it probably was like 3 years after the fact, but it still happened anyways, and I still am now officially a published author.
Did
My
you have
book is
any?
available on Amazon.
Which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Which is insane to even have that. Like, but you even holding it up. Like, how does it feel like when you actually get to feel something tangible? From it, you said you had that character inside you in high school, and now it's on a hardcover, and it's out there for the world to get. How does that make you feel?
So I had a concept book before this official one, just to make sure the cover fit everything, right? When I got this in the mail and it was perfect and everything was how I wanted it to be, it was pretty surreal because like I said, like literally all my work I did in the past 2 years is in my hands. From the
Hmm.
art, like literally from every facet of it, from the art, cover, on the art, to the text, to the actual book itself. Like I kind of go back, right? It's like if I was to flip over the first page, it was a pain making this table of contents. I remember that pain. You know,
Yeah.
like it's insane and it's just crazy. You know, because it was just in my head for so long. And the fact that it's done, it's over with. People know about it. People have interest in it. People love it. Funny enough, there are people that love it, and it's kind of crazy, you know. And it just now just pushes me more to go on with the next story and to keep doing this.
What was your hurdles? Like, did anything get in your way? Like, did you have support right away, or like, was that a thing for you or not?
I had support, but I feel like it wasn't. I'm trying to find a way the best way to word it. Like it wasn't like immediate, I guess. Because there were some people I told that, okay, yeah, I dropped out and hey, I'm writing this book. But it's almost like, okay, yeah, cool, well, we're with you, but they kind of also had that I'm gonna believe it till I see it type of attitude
They kind of just
with
brushed it
that
off as
support.
right. So they kind of
Yeah,
brushed it off. You're like, okay, well,
yeah, you know, so it's like I feel like it wasn't until I literally started getting samples of the book in to where it actually started setting in for some of those people to be like, wow, actually, wait, this actually could be something serious, and maybe him being cooped up in his room wasn't always him just doing nothing. so
right.
so
Because you have
because I
to
mean,
build something. Building something takes time.
yeah. So that's what happened. that was probably my biggest hurdle. Was I guess the fake belief, I
Yeah,
can
I
say.
hear that. Yeah, I think also the fact that frustration sets in from people who don't understand how that creative process works and how like I said, it takes time to build something. Like, you can destroy anything in seconds, but to build something, it takes time. And then to have this thing locked in your head, you know, and you create this character since high school, and essentially that means you sat on it for probably 3 years. It's a character alone before you actually put a word on paper, right? So but it's there. It's in the background, right? It's always hitting you. You're always thinking about it, and before you know, 3 years pass by, and then you write it, and then you get it published, and then it's in your hands, and you're selling it. It's just, it takes time. It takes time to develop
Yeah,
the story. It takes the time out to find the right vibe, the right place to write. You know, um, and people respecting your time too, though, right? So, did you find yourself having to say no to like family or friends for barbecues or whatever because you had to write, or you had something, for the story?
funny enough, no, because the work schedule that I had prior actually never got in the way of that. Because you see, what got me in the way of saying no to these cookouts and other family events was just me working on weekend
Right.
times that I would get out. Um, but I was off in the middle of the week, at least when I was writing that. So it literally helped me more in terms of being able to just lock in and isolate. Because I'm telling you, I would wake up, and this was my rough schedule. I never really had it like on pen and paper or on my phone. But I would wake up at around 9:30, 10 o'clock. I would get up, make art or write the book from then to like 1 o'clock. I'd go to the gym for about an hour and a half, come back, and from 3:30 to 4 o'clock to 8, I would still be working on the book, regardless if it was making art or writing it. That was my schedule, and I would do that for most of my days off. And I wouldn't really have anybody bother me. Like I had my mom working from home. Excuse me. But of course she was working while I was there, so
Right.
she didn't really ever need me.
So obligations weren't an issue because
No,
everyone's
I mean
working on
the only things
themselves.
that I really, yeah, I mean the only things I ever had to worry about was like small chore stuff. Like I had to make sure my clothes were washed or whatever. But other than that, like it never was nothing that got in the way of it.
Do you feel at any given time that when you're writing and you get lost into the story, that is that a unique thing that happens every so often, or is that kind of something that's constant for you? Like, if you could
It's
bust out
constant
chapters,
because
and sit down and bust out a couple chapters at one time, or
I think it would be constant with this next story. I wasn't able to do that with this story because I didn't know where this story was going. I was just writing as I was going along, and I found that not to be the right way for me to
right,
write. Um, because of this next story, I already have a beginning, middle, end. I have everything I want to go with it. I have everything that I want to take place. So it's like that would happen for me with this next story, and I can't wait to write because I know I'm probably just gonna kill a bunch of chapters in maybe like 2 weeks.
right. Wow, that's interesting.
Ooh. So,
So, what's your background?
oh, so I see I got a bed and a chair back here.
No, not your. So,
No, what is my background? I'm Puerto Rican. I'm half Puerto Rican. I'm half Ecuadorian. I'm born in New York, originally lived in Queens till I probably was like 2 or 3 years old, and then I moved to Atlanta. Since then, been living here since. Um, I came from very humble Hispanic home, American Hispanic home. Yes, and you know, like dogs. Um,
Like dogs.
yeah, dogs are pretty cool. Um, well, really, my biggest background I could say that's been with me since I was a really little kid was art.
Mm-hmm.
You could attest to this. I've been making art since I feel like I could pick up a pencil.
All types.
Um,
You sculpted as well.
yeah, I dabbled into sculpting a little bit. I wanted to get good at it, um, but I ended up losing all the clay that I got. Yeah, I got modeling clay and I lost it all.
And then
But
you have
regardless, I
you had a painting that actually made it to the county um
yeah, I had a
museum.
finger painting of a dragon that made to the county performing arts center at a
That's right.
display. It was when I was in second grade. I even got probably every art award possible in my school. Not necessarily because I had the best art. I feel like it's because it was just the most creative.
I agree with that. Yeah,
So
your stuff was out there.
yeah, art was with me every step of the way. And it kind of sometimes hurt me. And this is where I'm gonna get into like my hiatus with art, right? So when I was in middle school, I would only just draw stuff. I would not do any schoolwork. I would
Mm-hmm.
always just draw stuff, and it I got in trouble for it a lot. So in order to turn things around, I absolutely stopped drawing. And that was from maybe when I was like 13 to when I was 22. I did not start drawing until I got this iPad. I got an iPad right here.
Yeah, during the pandemic, you picked it back up here.
So no, I bought the iPad with the intentions of also drawing, and I dabbled in it a little bit. I already bought Procreate. It was like $10, but I never touched it. I never opened it. Um, and what got me back into it, funny enough, what got me back into making art and drawing stuff for myself, and this really will also help push me to write the book, was when I actually drew Lockdown for the very first time, like the first concepts. That's also what really drove me to write the story. But what got me into it again, anime, funny enough. I wanted nothing more than to just draw like some of the characters I was watching and to like to just draw other stuff because I was seeing just drawings pretty much a lot now. Like the first I really got into anime because my sister, Maya, she really wanted to watch Demon Slayer with me, but I didn't know anything about it. So I binge watched all of it. And then I was like, yo, look, I watched it all. So when a new episode comes out next week, we can watch it together. And that's what she told me last week. It ended. So I was like, oh. So then that's when I started just watching other shows and all that. It's just been with me since I became what they say a weeb. I got into a bunch of different shows, but I also got back into art, and like I said, that's what helped me push the book even more. Because once I actually started drawing and putting into, I guess not paper but digitally, what I had in my head, I was like, okay, maybe I could actually do this. Hold on, let me see if I could actually show you the first ever concept of life.
Okay, of course, cool. Because this
It'd
is a
be
good
hard to
testament.
show on.
This is a good testimony. You're working full time. You're actually going to school full time as well, and you're still
Yeah,
drawing and creating the concept of your book.
yeah.
And that's sometimes
So
people can actually still people can do it. It does take carving time out though.
this was the very first picture of Lockdown.
Look at that. And then it evolved from there.
Yeah, I only drew him two other times before what you call it. So look, the only thing that ever stood constant. Let me show you the other time. This, oh wait, this is the second time.
Mm.
face is a little washed out, but I'm
Yeah,
looking.
your autofocus trying to focus, but it's focusing on
Yeah,
you.
I know. Um, let me see if I can just here maybe too bright.
Get your face out of the frame. Put your face behind you. Let's see if that works. Move him closer. Move the screen closer. Let's see. No, I think you're actually gonna share it to the live, but
I could hold on, but I gotta get on
anyway,
my PC. So let
that's
me.
right.
No,
That's
hold on.
right.
I got one more though.
So how did you find the process with Amazon? Do you find it to be cumbersome, easy,
It
trash?
was not easy. It was. I wouldn't say trash, but it was not easy. I feel like mostly because
Do you feel that outdated in the whole UI and the way it's not to your point? It's not. I don't think it's user friendly at all.
it's not that user friendly.
And they haven't changed it in years. I think that's the original setup they have when they first started it, and they have yet to put any money into it.
Yeah, and it's such a shame because like that was the bread and butter of what I did. And honestly, until I guess get my own publisher at some point, I'm going to continue to use them.
Yeah.
Um, cause albeit it was dated, it wasn't hard to do.
Once you figure
You
it
know what I
out,
mean?
it's still like I said, it's cumbersome. It's clumsy. Um,
Yeah. So like it wasn't necessarily too hard to do. It just sucked about how it made you do things, I feel like.
yeah. I think that our cover work is difficult, and the lining up of your margins is not that easy either.
No, it's not. I mean, because the biggest thing too is they have to take their cut, because you're using their resources to print
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So it's all that as well as if you have art like me, because funny enough, I wanted there to be a way more art in this book than it actually ended up being. Just you know, kind of just sucked because I wasn't able to do it because I don't think I did it right. Um, but no doubt it definitely was a good learning thing
Right.
because I was able to actually do what I wanted, and then once I got however the process was, I'm like, okay, bet I'm gonna use this definitely for the next book. And
And I guess that's where like as a new author, you are gonna go through these motions. You are gonna have to use tools. You are gonna have to use tools that that are not the most robust or the most updated tools. You would think Amazon being who they are, and that they first started with books. That was the whole premise of the business before they got everything else around it. That tool should be so robust already for the authors. It's so easy, and it's not. It's not at all. And you know, what I do suggest to people a lot of times to ask me is, I tell them just YouTube it, honestly. YouTube it and then save the good YouTubes that you find. And then
yeah,
that's what I do every year. Because honestly, I'm only publishing once a year. I'm not remembering how to set my margins. I said it
so
and I forget
neither
it.
am I.
And so I already have my playlist in YouTube of how to publish on Amazon again every year, and I look at it to just kind of remember again. Once I see it, like, oh yeah, I know how to do it now, and then it comes back to me. But I do need that kind of restart, saying, hey, you know what? And that's how difficult it is. That I just can't go in there and just click and then have shit upload normally, right? So
Okay, so hold on, look real quick. I'm gonna show the audience first, at least on my stream. This was how uh lockdown looked the very beginning, like the very first stages. This is how I drew it. Now let me show you. Let me share my screen with you. Here, can you see it?
Yeah, I'm about to click on it right now. Look at that. So that was the
That's
first
how he
beginning
looks.
concept?
That was my first concept.
Nice.
There are some things that's in there that I carried over. Things in there I dropped. But after this, you would see just the evolution of lockdown from here on out, right? So let me show you the next one that kind of got washed out a little bit. Show the stream. This is how I drew him. Kind of tried a different style. This suit was definitely way more detailed, but I actually did not mind this suit. But I feel like it could have been better.
Okay.
Okay, here's this other one.
Okay, so we haven't got the helmet. Got a nice fade going on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot more detail in this suit, is especially in the gauntlets here. The biggest thing that I always wanted to be consistent because I love the design, and this was an original design. Helmet. I love the helmet. I wanted it to be consistent, and it was consistent throughout the whole piece. So right now, let me show you the character model or the character sheet that I drew for him. Show the stream first. Here I have like 3 different angles. Got the front view here, the side, and I got the back view. It's a little wonky on the back view, but it's whatever. I didn't take the opportunity to draw the helmet in different angles, but it worked out. Yeah. The character sheet that I used. I used this as a reference for literally every art piece I did after the fact. So I
color
could get
palette
the
right
angle.
there. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had the color palette. I had the angles, the design, and when I drew this design, I actually really did fall in love with it. I'm like, this looks like a real cool looking suit.
Would you mind sharing what you showed me today?
What did I say?
The updated you did with AI?
Oh no.
No?
Because it is cool, but it's not like 100% how I wanted it to be.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the suit. Let me try to see if I can zoom in a little bit around so you see the front suit right here. And I got the side, right? A lot of the detailing at the back. I really do like the back because kind of got like this spine type of thing. It also kind of looks like a bug. But yeah,
That's dope.
that. And then I also have another piece with him without his helmet, just to compare. Show the stream real quick. This is him. This was a part of the promo art that I used, and I saw on TikTok as well. Really cool shot of him just, weathered with the suit and all that. Now, let me show you. You can see that this suit's all weathered and all that.
Oh wow. Yeah, it looks killer. His suit's all broken up and torn and
Yeah, he's a little damaged too.
that's what's up.
Funny enough, he one of his abilities, he has 3 abilities, funny enough. He has telekinesis, super strength, and super healing. So right here, he's not necessarily hurt, but that's just all like, I guess, blood from the wounds that now have closed.
Sure.
Because he can still get hurt. It's just that he heals like in an instant. So it's very hard to kill him. It's not that he can't die. It's just that it is really hard to kill him.
Right. That's right.
So yeah, so that's that one. I have one more. And this was, I want to say this was probably, I think this was the very first piece I made featured the new suit that I made as the art for the back of the book. I loved how this ended up coming out. That's a stream. I showed a stream. I show you. So
Yeah.
this is after I made the character sheet.
Okay.
I drew this, and I was like, this is it right here.
Right.
Like, I'm actually going to write this story now. When I did this,
I like that a lot. That was dope. That was
so
fun. Yeah. Bro, congratulations, man. Congrats
thank
on
you.
all your efforts and your achievements, and just sticking with it. I know, and taking the risk that you did is huge. You took a risk on yourself, and you're still taking a risk on yourself, right? Like, if you want something
Yeah,
to happen, you got to take that risk on yourself. No one else can do it for you. And if people are risk adverse, those are the wrong people you need to have around you. You know.
yeah, yeah, no doubt.
How can people find you?
You can find me at all different types of places, TikTok mostly or Instagram. I am. Let me check to see because I have
We're gonna put
dots
all his
flashing.
links on the bottom of the description so they can find you easily. So you just
So I'm the dot richest RICHST no E on Instagram as well as TikTok. I'm also the dot RICHST and even on Twitch because I also stream and I do YouTube. YouTube is also the richest the dot RCHST and then on Twitch is the underscore RICHST.
fire. So we're gonna go ahead and add those links in the description, guys, to below. And I want to thank Saint Innocence for his time, and because he's gonna go live pretty soon. He's gonna be streaming pretty soon.
I'm live now. I'm
So
streaming
he's
this whole. I
now.
streamed this whole thing.
So
But
um yeah.
before we go, real quick, I want to show you cover because I do have the finished cover of my
Oh,
new.
this is a premiere exclusive.
Yes,
Let's get
exclusive
it.
right here.
On your JMP
All right,
exclusives. Let's go.
I want it open. Here it goes. Okay, so let me show the stream.
And explain exactly what we're looking at and what it's for. Hold on, it's not up yet.
It's on the stream now. I'll explain it when I show it to you.
Yeah, once it pops up. There we go. Oh wow, look at that.
Right, yeah, right.
So what are we looking at?
So right here is the story I
Can you
call
bring
Ember.
can you bring it back or
Oh, hold on, yeah. Uh, See you now?
yes. There we go.
Yeah, this is Ember. So this is going to be the next story I have aligned. It is also another, I guess, superhero story, but it's not in the
So,
traditional.
so this is not part of
Doesn't
lockdown
really.
or
No, but it
okay.
is within the same world.
Okay. Got you.
So it's not like an isolated story. It is an isolated story, but it's within the same world. Um, there is plans in the future for them to meet
Okay.
eventually.
Got you.
But this is not a superhero story in the traditional sense. It's more of just a story about a girl who has firepower.
Okay. I like that.
So, yeah, so real quick, this is Emma, aka Ember. She is an Ecuadorian young adult, about early 20s, um, who lives in Miami, pretty rough part of Miami, and she does some questionable things for money. None like, I know Diddy stuff, but just like some moral stuff,
Right.
questionably moral stuff to get money. and she finds herself in a very difficult situation and has to try to overcome it. That's what's going on.
That's fire. That's awesome. You guys got the exclusive. So you guys
Yes.
got right locked down, and then you got to hold out for this one.
Yes. Now there's no release date as of yet. I am in pre-production, but yeah, this is the cover. So this is gonna stay
So
as
we
the
gotta get you
cover.
back on for, for pre-order time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I also did not have for the first book was a window.
Yeah. All right, so we get you back on for when the pre-order comes through. They'll be able to give us some inside scoops of Amber, and yeah, that's dope. It's funny how now your universe is expanding and your catalog is growing
Yeah,
already.
no. See, this is the story I'm telling you where I can't wait to start because this one's gonna be crazy.
Right.
It's gonna be more. This was gonna show like the growth I have, the writer,
Absolutely.
everything. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
I appreciate that.
You are kicking ass, and you are doing it your way, which I love. So stay on your course, keep on blazing your path, and just don't stop writing. Don't stop.
I can.
No. This is
Oh,
your
and
business.
I made this art piece too. I'm not sure if I pointed that out. So it's definitely an evolution in terms of art style compared to
Yeah,
Lockdown here,
definitely.
where it looks a bit more comic booky, but you know. So yeah,
Definitely. Love it. Thank you for sharing this with us. That's dope. I'm hoping people who see this, young artists, young authors, this authors period who haven't published yet or has a story they haven't put together, using your testimony, and then hopefully this will motivate them to take that first step, getting that pen to paper, around those first words down. Like, don't compare yourself or don't worry about you being the so-called good. Just write your story. Just write just write your story, get it out of you, and then once you write it, then you can see, okay, what can I edit? What can I? Is there truly an arc I have here or not? Are the characters developed? And then you start rewriting it. You start editing it and making it better. Don't do perfection, but as artists, we all strive for that anyway, right? So it's like, for me, I need hard deadlines to stop because if not, I'll just keep on fucking writing.
yeah,
So I need the hard deadlines to say, okay, you got to stop. This is gonna be good as it's gonna get. Now it's time for editing time. So super proud of you, man. This is badass. This is super dope, and
no, thank you.
I cannot wait for this new one to come out because it's fire. The book is great,
I
guys.
appreciate that.
You guys gotta pick up the book. It's in Amazon. We're gonna go ahead and put the link
Yes,
in the description below, also along with Saint Innocence social media links. Go follow him. Go support him. Go share. Buy the book. If you really want to support, buy the book. This is how we
it's
support
a great
authors.
buy.
It is a great
Great
buy.
buy.
Look. So people know.
Could have angled it like this too. Wait,
Look. I knew exactly where it's at. I got my copy right here. Make some notes here already. It's a fire book. It's a great read. This is the exclusive signed ones that I got.
yes,
So
Saint
this is,
Innocence.
and this size of the book is not. This is an exclusive, so it's not going to be around for long.
Yes, I want to touch on that. So when Ember comes out, I will also have a revised version of Lockdown coming out that has different art, and it's also going to be the size of a normal book. So it's not going to be as big. So if you want to down the road, right, make hundreds of thousands, get this, the first edition, so then that way you can say I will be having this out market.
Yes.
So just so you know.
And
And
again,
the new edition will also include art such as some of the art that I showed you. Like maybe I probably will include the character sheet just for fun. Kept
right.
the model sheet that I had. But I
People,
definitely am including more sheet and more art for the next one. So yeah, get that whenever that drops. I'll keep you guys updated.
that's what's up. So we're gonna support our artists on this podcast, and we support them again, following them, sharing their stuff, and buying their shit. You know, back in the day, the term starving artist was very true. A lot of artists have died, and then their work became very popular after the fact of their death. And we don't need that. We need to have people enjoying life, enjoying writing, and making a living for themselves, take care of themselves and their families. You know, with the actual passion that they have for writing, because other people enjoy it. And again, it's a very small amount of people. Even like I said, there's tens of thousands of authors throughout the years. That's nothing compared to the billions of people that's on the earth. um, you know what I'm saying? So if you're an aspiring author, you're an author that may have lost your swag, please pick it up back up. And if it's your first time, get that pen, write that story down, forget everything about what people told you, put it in your head, write your story down, and let's see where it goes from there. That's the best advice I can probably fucking give you. But Saint Innocence, thank you so much, man. Like I said, you're fantastic. Your story is a true testimony, man. I'm glad that you were able to tell it and let people know you're Latino, you're Puerto Rican, Ecuadorian, you dropped out of college by choice, you know, to go after your path. And look at you now. You're getting there, building your catalog. So kudos to you, and I salute you big time.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. And we'll catch up. Like I said, we want to give you again. We have the pre-order for Ember out. We'll get you back on here
Yeah.
and let us know. Maybe we do a whole pre-order kind of show, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the
Yes.
deadline when it comes out. You know, at midnight we do like a late midnight show until it comes out and do a whole promotion tour for it. So
Yeah, why not? I'm down for that.
that's what's up. All right, man. So thanks again. This has been JMP, and we out.